Loretta Go, and I'm a deacon here in the Episcopal Diocese of Missouri. I'm assigned here at St. Stephen's and the Vine, and I'm also the bishop's chaplain. Being a part of this diocese is it's very gratifying to me, and I'm very honored to be a part of the Episcopal Diocese. I have a dual role. Not only am I the assigned deacon here at St. Stephen's and the Vine, I'm also the bishop's chaplain. And what that means is that when he makes his visitations to the various churches in the diocese who don't have a deacon, then I get to go with him, and I participate in the worship, I proclaim the gospel, I do the diaconal things, and then after the service is over, he usually has a audience or a stump the bishop. He calls it stump the bishop time, and they can ask anything that they want to, and I've learned to listen to those questions that they ask and how he answers them, and then in the back of my mind I'm thinking, I can help with that. I can bring that need back to the greater church, and we can figure out how to serve that. So my community just went from just St. Stephen's here in Ferguson to all of the greater community. So that's what that means to me, and I'm very honored to do that, to have that opportunity. Oh gosh, my journey to ordained ministry. I'm not sure that it got started. It's been kind of a short journey. I'm the third and the youngest daughter of Chinese immigrants who came to Pine Bluff, Arkansas in 1949. And my dad was about ancestor worship, so we didn't go to church or do anything like that on Sunday mornings. When I was 6 years old, we had immigrant friends, also from China, who came to visit my parents and said that, well, you are an adult and you can do what you want to do, but your children are growing up here in America and they should have a choice. And he said, that's fine, they can have a choice, but I'm not taking them to church. And they said, that's not a problem, we will come and get them. So every Sunday, my friends came and picked up my older brother and my older sister and me, and we went to Trinity Episcopal Church in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and that's how I was introduced to the church. And then I just lived a normal life as a kid and went to school and stayed in Arkansas and in the South until about 2003 when I moved here to St. Louis. And during that time I don't think that there was ever really like a call to ministry, to ordained ministry, because women were not even allowed to be in ordained ministry in the Episcopal Church until 1975. So I was 18 years old, but I was active in the church and as a lay person. And whenever I would do things like be a lay reader or do something that maybe had something to do with interacting with other people, I would have clergy come and ask me if I had ever considered ordained ministry, and the answer was no, I had not. Quite possibly because of my upbringing with my dad not wanting to be a Christian or wanting his kids to be a Christian. So I would say that my journey didn't really get started until I moved here, even though I've been getting like gentle tugs from God. But when I moved here, I thought, okay, it's 44 years later ever since I started getting tugged at, and maybe I should talk to somebody about it. And then when I started talking to people about it, it was like, well, it's about time that you did something about it. You can run from God, but you can't, he is finally going to catch up with you. So 40 some odd years later, he caught up with me, and I went into discernment and went to the Episcopal School for Ministry and was ordained in June of 2023. So that's basically what my journey has been. I don't know that I was inspired. I think it's more like God has been knocking on my door. He's been tugging at me, and I don't. That's not to say that there were not inspiring clergy people in my life, or priests and other bishops and stuff like that. I was inspired by them to do good work, but I don't think I was ever inspired to become an ordained person. And I say that because I've always thought, well, I was raised, for one thing, I was raised by a tiger mom, and that's a cultural thing that no matter what we do, it's not good enough. And I keep hearing that in everything that I do. Even though she is 97 years old today, and I go and see her, I'm still her daughter, and I still don't do anything right. So as far as inspired, I think here again I was tugged at, and probably still have that voice in my head. I'm working on it, but still have that voice in my head that why would God call somebody like me, who has, really nothing to offer. So the vocation evolving, or my understanding of it, I think it's like any other kind of new job or new chapter in somebody's life. So when you graduate from college and you start your new job and you think, I didn't learn how to do this, and they didn't teach us that in college, or they didn't teach us how to do this. So I've only been ordained for a little under 2 years. So I think I spent the whole first year just trying to figure out what I was supposed to be doing and how I was supposed to be doing it. And I think that I have spent a lot of time asking questions, asking people who came before me, asking my colleagues and my peers, and asking the bishop, what am I allowed to do this, or am I supposed to be doing this? So, and I also think that not only do I have a lack of understanding, but I think that there's also a general lack of understanding about what a deacon really does. A deacon is not an assistant priest, it's not an associate priest. We are both ordained ministries, and we're on an equal level, but we have different ministries. So a priest, I would say, gathers people in his church. A deacon is out in the community and is a liaison, is a bridge between the community and the church. So I go out into the community and listen to their concerns and their needs. I bring those back to the church, and we talk about how we can help with those things, those concerns and those needs, and then we go back out into the community. And also in Sunday morning worship, at the end of the service, I dismiss the people to go back out into the world and love what God loves, and to do the work of God. So I think that's a huge difference between what a deacon is and a priest is. And people, I think, don't understand that, but I think that we're getting to a point that there are enough of us, and we proclaim it enough that they're beginning to get that, yes. We're deacons and we're not priests and we're not bishops, but we work together. The Episcopal Church, I believe, is doing a good job of meeting the needs of today's world. We've always been inclusive, but I think because the world has gotten so divisive and we have an administration that is trying to take rights away from people, we need to, it's even more incumbent upon us to go out and tell people that no matter where you are in your faith journey or whether you have a faith journey, no matter if you're LGBTQ, if you're red, black, blue, or purple, no matter if you're LGBTQ, I mean, rights that were given to women, to minorities, to our LGBTQ communities, they were legally granted to us, and they are rapidly being taken away from us. So I think the more that we can get out there and spread the good news that we are all God's children, and because we're all God's children, we are loved by God, and we all have the right to be treated like God's children. The more we send that message out, I think the more that we'll be able to provide some comfort for these people who are being marginalized and being persecuted. Well, in my ministry as a deacon, it's part of our job to proclaim the gospel, and to proclaim the good news. So on Sunday worship, we deacons we proclaim the gospel. We set the table and prepare it for the Eucharist, and at the end of the service, we dismiss people and send them back out and to do the God's work. And during the week, I'm here. So we have, like right now, we're having, or on the third Tuesdays of the month, we have a community brunch. And we invite everybody. You don't have to be a member of this church. We just invite the community, and they come, and they have brunch on us. And so during that time, I can go out and sit with and visit the people and hear what their needs are, whether it's about the food pantry or whether it's about what food we serve at the brunch or anything. I am able to do that, and I think that's part of my responsibility as a deacon and living out my ministry is to find out what the needs of the community are. If I could share one message to anybody through this campaign or just through everyday life, I would ask that you give us a shot. If you're looking for a faith community, or please come visit any of our parishes in the diocese. I remember one time I was traveling to Arkansas, and my husband and I had stopped at a park to walk our dogs, and a woman came up to us and she started talking to us, and it was very evident that she was, after talking to her, she was not in a good spot in her life. She was homeless, and she was facing several issues and didn't have food, and so I invited her to come to the church that was closest to her, and she said that she didn't want to be judged, and she was sick and tired of church, and that because she was being judged by them all the time. And I said, well, unless you can specifically tell me that that was that church that judged you, then you're doing the same thing to them that you're saying that they're doing to you. So I would urge you to give them a shot. So that church, which was an Episcopal church, is not going to look down on you. They don't care what you look like or anything like that. And they were having a food giveaway, and they have all kinds of ministries that I think that could help you. And so I would say that to anybody who needs help but doesn't know where to go. And don't be afraid to go to any of our churches and give us a shot. That's what I would say. And that's the message that I would like to send out to everybody. And so if you don't need help, if you are a member of any of our churches, but maybe not active, or maybe don't know how you can help or would like to help, to speak up, to ask questions, and to ask any of us, any of your clergy or your fellow congregants or members, what you can do or how you can help. I would ask that message of anybody through this campaign. And if somebody like me, who is the most introverted person in the world, I think, and I've been told that before, if I can get out there and do it, then so can you. And you can, I promise you won't be sorry.